In this problem, it says the points 0, 6, 3, 7, and 7, 5 lie on a particular circle. The area of the circle is k pi. We want to determine the value of k. If I pick any 2 points, that's going to form a chord. And the perpendicular bisector, the line that passes perpendicularly through the midpoint of any 2 points, that's going to pass through the radius. So let's say I pick these first 2 points, 0, 6, and 3, 7. So, what's it going to pass through? It's going to pass through the midpoint. So the average of 0 and 3 is 1.5. The average of 6 and 7 is 6.5. All right. Now, it has to be perpendicular to this chord. So we need to find the slope. So 7 minus 6 over 3 minus 0 is 1/3. So that means it has a slope of -3 because it's perpendicular. Now what I'm going to use is I'm going to use point slope form. It's a little bit simpler for us to use, and you'll see why in a second. So y minus 6.5 equals -3 times x minus 1.5. I put slope here, and I put the point that it passes through here and here. So that's one equation. And now the other equation, I'll pick the other 2 points, 3 and 7, and then 7 and 5. So this is going to pass through. This is going to have its own perpendicular bisector. It's going to pass through 5, 6. Because 3, 7, the midpoint is 5. 7, 5, the midpoint is 6. So then it's going to be perpendicular to this slope. So it's 7 minus 5 over 3 minus 7. So 2 over -4, which is -1/2. So that means our slope that we want is +2. So y minus 6 equals 2 times x minus 5. So we have our 2 perpendicular bisectors, and where they meet will be at the center. Now I'm going to take the 6.5 and the 6 and move them over to the other side. So y equals -3 times x minus 1.5 plus 6.5. Y equals 2 times x minus 5 plus 6. So now I can set these equal to each other. So we have -3 times x minus 1.5 plus 6.5 equals 2 x minus 5 plus 6. I'll distribute the -3, distribute the 2, -3x plus 4.5 plus 6.5 equals 2x minus 10 plus 6. So we'll simplify that. -3x equals, plus 11 equals 2x minus 4. Add the 3x over, add the 4. So 15 equals 3x. So x equals, that should be a 5. So x equals 3. So that's the x-coordinate of our center point. So now I can plug that into one of the equations up above. So y minus 6 equals 2 times 3 minus 5. So y minus 6 equals 2 times -2. So y minus 6 equals -4. So y equals 2. So there's our center. X equals 3, y equals 2. So now what we have to do is we want the radius, because we need the radius in order to find the area. So we need to find the distance from 3, 2 to any of the points up above. I'm just going to choose 0, 6. So our distance is the square root of, so we take the x values and subtract them. So 3 minus 0 squared plus 2 minus 6 squared. So we have 3 squared plus 4 squared. So we have 9 plus 16. square root of 25, so the distance is 5, so that means our radius is 5. So when it comes to the area, pi r squared is the formula, so pi times 5 squared, or 25 pi. So 25 is our answer, and we're done.